Another whistleblower? Is that the case? Well, Matt Ford was talking to a UAP Task Force member who went public. That's right, Matt Ford was talking to Sarah Gamm, who was an Intel analyst and former NGA employee. And she said she saw images of non-terrestrial craft. That's what we're going to get into here today. So that post from UAP James clipping out Matt Ford's show, we're going to play that clip in just a little bit about what was said. And as you clicked on it, you're going to get yet another task force member claiming now, not from Earth. This is something else. What is going to happen with these people? They're going to start testifying? Are they going to come forward? Seems like that's how it starts. But let's play this clip from Matt Ford, and then we'll talk about it afterwards. Here it is.
Were there things that you saw that were clearly not from here? Maybe from our neighbors somewhere else?
Yes, absolutely. There was a few times when no doubt in my mind that's not terrestrial, that's not from Earth, that's not an adversary craft. The way things maneuvered, G-forces experienced, disappear, reappear, pop back up. Sometimes it was, and I know I'm not saying anything new, but it's like it would like play. And, pilots would lose track of something, and it's no doubt in your mind, not from Earth.
Okay, yet again, I mean, it's going to come down to one of these things where, and don't you do it. Because you see in the shot, she's got a picture of the UFOs with the cat in the background too. And you're like, wait a minute. It's like she's into the subject, and why not? She was on the task force, so she did a deep dive into it, and she's talking to Matt Ford, who gets some great interviews, and it's a great show, and it plays. The reason I wanted to cover this also is not for how many people have said that they were working on things like this, they've seen things like this, more proof on it as far as more people coming forward. And this is the thing I was talking about either yesterday or the day before. What is so important is to get more people like Sarah Gamm, because this is a name that I am not familiar with, right? This is a name you're not familiar with. I don't think you're familiar with. More names that are coming forward. That aren't the usual cast of characters that you've seen before, that they feel more protected, that they feel like they can actually speak up now. That is what is going to really open the floodgates, as more people who worked on these programs that were scared to do so before now are finding support from places and now have a place in platforms. And this is the kind of the point that we made on UAP Tuesday this week, was that there was a time when people, when they tried to speak up, they were shut down quick. It went away, and no one could really say anything else. They did an interview, and then they said, well, no, that's not. Someone said, oh, that's not true, and they said, oh, that's not true. They found a balloon. It's a balloon. That's it, and nobody could combat that. Well, with social media, it's getting a pushback, and I think that when you look at, as I mentioned many times over, the mainstream media kind of neglect. Even though I do think that it is very important that mainstream media covers this subject, and they did a little bit more with Lou Elizondo than I had in the past, but still, like, there should be interviews with the mainstream media that are also talking to Sarah Gamm, and asking the questions and finding out what it was. But it shows like Matt's, it shows like whether it's this show, vetted, Jeremy Corbell, George, I mean, the list goes on and on. Jesse, Michael, there's so many, and there's so many I'm leaving out right now. There's so many great shows and people, and just Twitter accounts and people talking, and whether you're on Twitter Spaces and whatever it is, people getting the word out. It can't be pushed to the side like it was back in the day, because, or shoot, 5 years ago, because now you look at this woman, right? If she's like, well, who am I going to talk to? I tried to get, let's say this is 10 years ago. I tried to call CNN, they don't want to do the interview. I tried to call Fox, they don't want to do the interview. I tried to call MSNBC, ABC, but nobody wants to do the interview. Well, now he said, well, go on Matt Ford. He works with the Soul Foundation. He does this. He goes, do your interview there. Get the clips out there. People will start talking about it. Other shows will start picking it up. your name will start getting out there more. We get it out there. It's like anything else with publicity and PR. This is how you got to do it now. If you're in this, if you're a whistleblower, if you're someone who's trying to get your story out there, like those people, they're chasing them down right now, chasing them down. But you can't let them catch you. You got to go and you talk to shows like Matt Ford. You talk to other shows and you get your name out there, you get your story out there, and then there's clip outs and there's other things. That's kind of how it happens. But the other side of this is that it just seems like there's more and more and more. Do you see someone like Sarah Gamm? Does she come out at one of these hearings? Is it coincidental that the day after we talked about the Luna hearing and the 2 days after we talk about the hearing that Gillibrand says that you're going to get more witnesses and more people you haven't heard of? And remember, at one point they said it was like 40 plus whistleblowers. Normally, a lot of the people that you've seen kind of popping up in these spaces are names that you've heard before. And even when like Jason Sands popped up, or even these different names that keep popping up that you've heard of before. Stratton is one that is popping up a lot more now. He's got his book coming out. But there are more names that I think we're going to start getting familiar with. So, and even though I have it on the thumbnail of the no doubt not from Earth, I mean, I think we're getting to that spot here that let me back up, because I do get confused by it, because there's some places that cover it and say, well, it's definitely not from Earth. And then there's others who go, well, I never said it wasn't from Earth. I just said it wasn't from this dimension. It wasn't from this. So it's like, it does seem like there's a kind of divide on, and still of exactly what the hell it is and what it's going on. Some people believe one thing, some people will speak about outer space, and others said it has nothing to do with outer space. So I don't know. I have no idea. All I can say is that there are more people coming forward. What do you guys think? Do you think that this is a good sign? Do you think that you want to learn more about Sarah Gamm? Are we going to see more? Is this a good, what I will say in that, I mentioned Jason Sands. I still don't think it was the best move for him to debut on Twitter Spaces. I think that going on Twitter Spaces eventually is a good thing, but I don't think debuting there is the way to go when you are someone like that who wants to get their story out. And I think that what we heard is that Ross Coulthart was going to do something with him and then ultimately didn't. It may have been somebody else. I can't remember, but this is a way to do it, in my opinion. Matt Ford is very credible. People like talking to Matt Ford. He's definitely on, the side of more protection and less skeptic, not skeptic, wants to get the truth out there. And so it makes sense that you go and do his show, and I think it helps. So will we see more of her? Is this a one and done type thing? Is she going to show up on more stuff? What do you guys make of this? What do you make of this claim? Will we see more people coming forward? Put your comments in there. Let me know. If you're brand new to the channel, you've never been here before, please subscribe. If you want to become a member of the channel, you can do that, or you can help us out by getting something for yourself. You can check out either Rocket Money or check out Factor. I'll tell you about both of them right now. See you back here tomorrow. Guys, thanks for watching the show. Really appreciate you being here, and I wanted to give you an opportunity to hear about somebody I love, and that's Factor. Factor, to me, the meals are just delicious. And with sunny days here, fueling up with Factor there's no prep, there's no mess meals. Meet your wellness goals in time for summer thanks to the menu of chef-crafted meals with options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus. Factory's fresh, never frozen meals are dietitian approved, and they're ready to eat in just 2 minutes. So no matter how busy you are, you'll always find time to enjoy nutritious, great tasting meals. I cannot tell you guys, we have been working on this studio. We have been doing stuff, and Brett, who is here, if you don't know Brett is one of the best. He's a producer, and he works on this studio, and he's gotten it looking really, really good. Well, Brett gets hungry. I said, Brett, guess what? I got some good meals for you, and we got Factor. And Brett's been most energy I've seen him running around because he's been eating well with Factor. If 35 meals and more than 60 add-ons to choose from every week, and you'll always have new flavors to explore. You got to treat yourself to restaurant-quality meals that feature premium ingredients like filet mignon, shrimp, and blackened salmon. So if you head to factormeals.com/DTE50, you use that code DTE50, you'll get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month. That's code DTE50 at factormeals.com/DTE50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month while subscription is active. Get it. You'll thank me for it. I appreciate it. Hey guys, thanks for watching the show. Listen, I have been there so many times where I've had subscriptions that I've been going through my phone, didn't even realize I still had them. I signed up at one point. And I said, what am I doing? I'm wasting all this money. And I stopped doing that a while ago because I have Rocket Money. Rocket Money is a subscription service, and it is amazing. It's a personal finance app that helps you find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions. It monitors your spending and it helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. You get alerts if bills increase in price, there's unusual spending activity, or if you're close to going over budget. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's features. Stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/DTE. That's rocketmoney.com/DTE. This thing keeps me organized. I've been using it for so long. I really love Rocket Money. I have it on my phone. I literally have an update right there. I love Rocket Money, and you will too. So check it out. The link's in the description.